Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I am going to be doing a bit of repotting, so I thought I would film it for you guys. Now we are in the dead smack middle of winter, so it's not the ideal time to be repotting, and I probably don't recommend it if you are a beginner to repot in winter, but you know, I don't really care. So I'm going to be repotting. So I'm going to be repotting this giant Philodendron Mamei. It is so beautiful. I saw it in the plant shop and I couldn't resist, even though I already have one. But like, look at the size of it. So I'm going to be repotting this and the one I already have. I'm going to be potting them together. And I bought a new pot, I'll show you. Because Philodendron Mamei are crawlers, I have bought a nice long rectangle pot for it to crawl along. So I'm very excited to get it in here and get it crawling. I did actually buy this big one so I can take propagations for my shop, because I absolutely love these philodendrons and I would love to sell them. So yeah, I'm going to be, there's like 3 growth points on this plant, so I'm going to be removing one of them to propagate, and then 2 are going in here along with the one that I already have, which I will go and grab and I will show you. So this is my little cutie that I grew from like the tiniest little plant. I will pop a picture here of what it was like when I first got it in a plant tray. And this is the latest leaf, so it is a little bit damaged, but it is so much bigger than the previous leaves, and it is very well rooted, so it's in the need for a repot, and obviously it's starting to hang over the pot because it wants to crawl. So yeah, I'm going to be planting this little guy together with the big guy. And so first off, I need to mix some arrowhead soil. Okay, so I have to film in my shed because it's too sunny to do it outside and I don't want the plants to burn, but essentially I have mixed up my mix here. So this is actually a soil free mix, so it's just worm castings, fern fibre, orchid bark, cocoa chip, perlite, and that's it. And I've already taken one out, so I've taken my little one already out of its pot, and you can see it has some really awesome, yeah, pretty good, eh? Really awesome roots. So I'm just going to sit that in the pot, and then I'm going to take this big one outside and remove the soil. Because this one is from a nursery, I don't know what's in the soil. I don't know if there's any fungus gnats or anything in there, so I'm not going to be using the soil. I'm going to compost it outside. So yeah, I'm going to go and take this out of its pot and I'll bring it back in here and we can pot them up. Okay, so I've removed it from its pot. It has a fantastic root system on there. It was pretty root bound, and the soil they used was very like heavy and dense. So I did remove as much of it as I can without wrecking the root ball too much. And this was the little shoot I took off. It has a couple of roots on it there, so I'm going to propagate that one up for my shop. And yeah, I guess it's time to plant them together. Please excuse my terrible filming setup. I literally have the camera balancing on a ladder, so ooh. Hopefully it doesn't fall, but we'll see how we go. So I'm going to put a layer of the soil mix in the bottom. And then I'm just going to rearrange the plants where I want them to sit. Now obviously they're crawlers, so they're going to be crawling along the pot. So I want to put them as far back to one side as possible. So, gosh, this is going to be so hard to do. Okay. So I'm going to try and put my original one in the middle of these 2 bigger ones. Kind of like that. That should work, hopefully, if I can hold them all there. Let's put this across here to hold them up. Okay. Gosh, they're so big and heavy. This is crazy. Okay, now I'm gonna backfill with my mix. I didn't realize this was gonna be this hard. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to get some wire and make some really large U-shaped pins that I can pin the plant into the soil. So I'm going to go and get that and do that now. I wasn't filming and I was explaining to you what I was doing. So I basically got some garden wire like so, and I am bending it into U-shapes like that, and I am going along and pinning the stem into the soil to sort of train it to where I want it to grow and hold it in place, because it's quite top heavy, like the petioles are quite long and it makes the plant sort of want to flop over a bit. So yeah, I'm just pegging it along, telling it where I want it to grow and where I don't want it to grow. So I took my camera off so you can actually see what I'm talking about. So I've just pinned along the stems to hold them down into the soil. This makes the aerial roots come into contact with the soil, and then it'll essentially root at every node. It'll help keep it stable. And I'm also going to put in a couple of these stakes with clips just to hold some of the heavier leaves in place. But she is all potted up. Now I'm going to put up this cutting, which has a couple of roots on, into the same soil as what this one's in, but I will just pop it into a pot until it's established a better root system. I apologise for that filming setup, not ideal, but I have them potted up. So this is the beautiful little cutting I have going. I'm going to get this one really well rooted. As you saw, it had a couple of roots on, but I wanted to fill up this pot with roots before I list it on my shop. I've just put a little support on to help keep it stable while it roots, but that is looking absolutely beautiful. And this is now my giant mother plant. It is looking pretty crazy at the moment. Obviously all the leaves are facing all different directions, but I'm going to give this a water and find a spot for it. It's going to need a new pot, like probably by maybe summer, so it'll probably grow to the end in spring. But I'll show you what I'm going to water it in with, and that actually helps reduce plant stress when you transplant it. So yeah, I'll go and show you what I'm going to water it in with. So I'm in the laundry now, and this is what I'm going to be watering my plants in. It's actually it's called Clonex Clone Solution. They use it for propagating a lot. It basically just builds a really healthy, strong and robust root system, but you can also use it for transplanting, so it helps reduce transplant shock when you're transplanting your plants. So I'm going to mix this up in this little bottle and give them a water through. So it's super simple. It is 5 ml per 1 litre of water. This little bottle I have is 500 ml, so I just use my little pipette and get 2.5 ml. Pop it in there. And I kid you not, I literally, as I'm filming, got a delivery of this at my front door for my shop, so that is going to be online before this video comes out, so it is available now. This, and I've also got the foliage focus, which is a plant nutrient which is pretty much specifically designed for plants that you grow for their foliage, so that'll be online as well. I always kind of feel a bit, I don't know, like I hate it when you're watching videos and they're always just like, you can buy this online now, shop my shop down below. I don't know, but like when you genuinely use the products that you sell, it's kind of hard not to, if you know what I mean. Like the soil mixes I use, I also sell, but I've been using them for like years prior to before I got my shop. So even if I didn't have my shop, like I'd still be using these products. And I always get asked where I get stuff from, so it's easier if I just say it or link it down below. Anyway, I'm going to water this baby in. So this is actually really going to help, this cutting in particular, it's really going to help it grow some roots, which is what we want. So you can see it is now dripping out the bottom. So that is well watered. Now this one is probably going to be a little bit trickier because it's so big. So if I focus it mainly down, I don't really need to water it up this end where the foliage is, because that's not really where the roots are. The roots are sort of all down on this end. So I'll just water it thoroughly down on this end. And I'll sprinkle a little bit along the stems just to encourage them to root down. Okay, so that is all I'm going to do today. I'm just going to let these beautiful plants drain in the sink and just chill out a little bit from their little shock of a transplant treatment. But yeah, I hope you guys liked this little video. Please don't forget to subscribe because I am very, very close to 3,000 subscribers. So if you're not already, please hit that subscribe button. It really means a lot to small channels, and if you like this kind of content, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in my next video, which will be the poll video, I promise. Bye. Monstrous Philodendron, God, I can't even speak. Ginormous Monstera. Fuck, it's not a Monstera. Okay, so I swear half of this film is just me adjusting the tripod. I can't believe I wasn't filming that.